Next for Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, a match on Monday night, which is live on talkSPORT. And of course, many people were asking the question, will Steve Cooper be in charge come that match on Monday night? Many people were asking the question, if they lose against Aston Villa, will he lose his job after that? In the last few moments, Nottingham Forest delighted to announce that Steve Cooper has signed a new contract with the club. It's been added, another year has been added to the deal that he formerly had. So now Cooper has signed a new deal at the City Ground, which will run until 2025. What's your take on that, Mr. Simon Jordan? What's Marinakis decided to do there?
I think it's a very smart move. I think it's probably £1.5 million move in terms of he's got a contract until 24. He's given him a contract till 25. It's probably going to cost him £1.5 million if he fires him earlier, because he ultimately doesn't think he does the job in the longer term. But what it is smart, because it will give Cooper a lift. Cooper looked like a haunted man on Monday. What he now knows, even if he didn't know it before, and he should, is that his owner is behind him. His owner believes in him, and that's an immense lift. I did it once with Neil Warnock. We got beat 4-0 at home with Doncaster. Neil phones me up, and we're just expecting to get promoted, getting beat 4-0 at home by Doncaster. He says, that's not very good, is it? I said, don't worry about it. I've got you. You'll fix it. That's a lift. This guy's gone beyond that. He's given him a new contract and doubled down. It's not the narrative that's being spun out in the media. It's not what people expected. It shows you that this owner is not an emotional illiterate. He understands the landscape of the football world that he's in, and he knows that this guy, Cooper, is probably the right one.
Yes, it's an important message, Jim. This is an important message to this dressing room, because it's, you number of players that are coming in from all over the place, and they start to feel, okay, is it going to be with this manager or not? Now there's a message, it will be with this manager. We need to toe the line. The message I would have for Steve Cooper, though, is, look, you've got to find a solution much quicker than you are. They finished the game against Forest and they looked way better. The 5 substitutions, 3 of them at half-time, came on and were a big improvement. Maybe he should have started the game. So he needs quickly to work out the 11 he can rely upon. And that might mean it's unexpected, there's big changes. It might mean Nico Williams doesn't play at right back. Johnson, though, is still their best player, Jim, and they bought 23 players. 23 new players.
It's crazy,
so you look at the calibre,
yeah,
and you think, okay, I still feel that they should be doing better than they are. But at the moment, it doesn't look like a team right now. It
might well be they've added another couple of years onto the deal that he originally had. Anyway, nonetheless, it's a new deal that runs until 2025. Simon, the telling sentence is the last one. It's now important that our focus is solely on football. As a group, we're all concentrated and we'll do everything we can to help the team move up the league table and once again demonstrate our qualities that led us to the Premier League. Let's get this Steve Cooper chat out the road, park that up. He stays, now go out and win games.
That's right. And now it will also increase the pressure on Steve Cooper to some extent, ironically, because all of the background noises about having to do your job are now, and the media building up a narrative of you are going to get it, and your owner is irrational, and he's spent 150 million quid, and he's going to come at you like a whirlwind. No, I'm not. I'm going to deal with it. But it doesn't alter the fact, if they keep on getting beat week in, week out, going to get to January, he'll still be under pressure, and all it will mean is the owner's going to pay him more money on the way out.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're on the receiving end of a 7-0 thumping by Villa, nothing's going to get them out that exit door certainly in the near future now.
No,
you can call off the dogs, in other words,
and rightly so. I mean, I think I'm always in the camp, and we spoke about it earlier in the week, that it's always about what you do for me now, what you've done for me previously, rather than what you've done for me previously. But there are certain exceptions, and I think Cooper is now in a territory where he falls into that space of exceptions. But it won't last forever. But the owner's done the right thing. He's stopped the background noise.
Yeah.
Now I don't want any.
Could have done it earlier, Simon, in the week, couldn't he?
Well, he could have not allowed a load of briefing into the media. He could have allowed people not to be aware of the fact that it wasn't going to be a bunch of Forest people meeting in London to talk about people's futures. He could have done that as well.
It's 5 defeats, Jim, but it's only 1 win away of getting out of the bottom 3, isn't it? So when you look at it, you've got Palace just a couple of points below. You got Wolves now just above. Wolves have had a shocking start to the season. A lot of people saying Hassan Hurtl's in trouble a little bit at Southampton. It's really difficult to gather points. West Ham are only just above them. Look like they've probably turned a corner right now. So it's a scrap, but it's certainly not over for Forest. They've won 1 game, of course, this season, but they can win this next one.
It's a massive shot in the arm for Steve Cooper. What I saw was a slightly haunted fella on Monday night. Might just because it's directly after the game. What you might now see is someone with his shoulders back again. and the chest out and someone dragging this group of players where he wants to take them. He also got to make decisions better than the ones he's currently making, hasn't he?
And I felt when he was managing actually in the Championship, he was dictating games. It was his tactics teams were responding to. Whereas now it's the other way around. I think he just needs to take charge of this team.
I must admit, Sammy, he's never over-animated, Steve Cooper. Even when I was with him at Wembley, when they beat Huddersfield and went up.
That's his strength.
He wasn't exactly dancing around the place.
That's great. That's how you want it to be.
He plays it down nicely and he does his job well. So there we go. Steve Cooper has been rewarded with a new deal at Nottingham Forest, which will run until 2025. And of course, the next game is on Monday night, Forest against Villa, 8 o'clock kickoff for that. And that is live right here with us on talkSPORT. So Steve Cooper is the man, and a lot of people reacting to that. Nottingham Forest fan Chris Herring, yes, get in. Super Cooper signing a new contract. That is exactly what was needed. Real cohesion now from this point onwards. Great bit of work by Forest. Well done, Chris. You've got your man. Steve Cooper stays.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.